Are you looking for all the latest pro football news and content? Of course you are. Who doesn't love football? The question is, how do you get all the latest pro football news and content? There's so many different pro football podcasts on the internet. Which one do you choose? Which one is the right fit for you? Well, you go with the Cross the Middle Show, one of the fastest growing football podcasts out right now. Over the past year, we've climbed the Spotify rankings and become a show you have to listen to if you're a football fan. Find out if the Ravens will go all the way with Odell Beckham Jr. Find out if the Eagles did enough to make it back to the Super Bowl. You'll get all of our best stories for just $1 per month. All you have to do is sign up by clicking the link in the episode description box. It's John Kuzma. This is the Cross the Middle Show, where we talk about all the latest pro football news and action. We got the Ezekiel Elliott story today. We're also going to talk about Dalvin Cook. So let's get right down to business. Let's start with Ezekiel Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott is no longer a Cowboy, as most of you probably know. And he actually signed with the Patriots. So Ezekiel Elliott is joining the Patriots. He's going to be there with Ramondre Stevenson in the backfield. Nice little 1-2 punch for the Patriots. Bill Belichick adds some depth at the running back position. And we're going to see how Ezekiel Elliott fits into the equation with the Patriots. Can he be the guy that comes in and produces a lot of touchdowns? Last year, he did have a lot of touchdowns, and people forget that that's still a big help for a football team, despite the fact that Ezekiel Elliott might be missing a little bit of his burst these days, not as quick or as fluid as he used to be, but still good down near the goal line, a guy that has a knack for, sniffing the end zone, and a guy that knows how to find pay dirt. I mean, that can help for a team. All those touchdowns he scored for the Cowboys throughout the years. And even this past year, he had a lot of touchdowns too. So I think that gets lost on some people, how good he is at scoring touchdowns. So that will certainly help a Patriots offense that's desperate to score any way possible, whether it be on the ground or through the air. It doesn't matter. The Patriots just need to generate some offense. That's been their Achilles heel. We all know how good they are on the defensive side of the ball with Bill Belichick drawing up the X and O's. They need to get it done on the other side of the ball. With their offense, I think Ezekiel Elliott is going to help big time. I think he's going to bring something to the table for that team. And, it's a nice backfield. Ramondre Stevenson is showing a lot of promise, a guy that is going to keep getting better as he gets older and more familiar with the professional level and what it takes to be successful in the National Football League. You have Ezekiel Elliott, a polished veteran that's coming in who's been very, very productive in the NFL, a guy that's had a lot of success in this league. And, maybe a guy that is motivated after everything he's went through, being on the sidelines, being let go by the Cowboys, not being a part of the big picture with the Cowboys. Remember, he came in with Dak. Him and Dak were, the core pieces for that team. Dak's still there. Ezekiel Elliott is gone. So we're going to see if he'll be motivated or not, with this new team that he has with the Patriots. We'll see if he can kick it up a notch and, maybe turn back the clock a little bit and be an explosive version of himself. It's not totally out of the equation. I mean, yeah, the tread starts to come off the tires a little bit with these running backs when they get older, but at the same time, he's splitting carries with Ramondre Stevenson. That should preserve him a little bit. I know he was splitting carries last year too, but still, a new situation, getting familiar with new teammates, being motivated by being let go. Sometimes going through those changes and getting a fresh start can motivate a player to, be hungry again. That's what the Patriots are hoping for with Ezekiel Elliott. That's what Bill Belichick is hoping for. I think for him, if he can put up 10 touchdowns, I mean, that's a very, very successful year for Ezekiel Elliott. If he comes in, has 10 touchdowns, and, puts points on the board for the Patriots, that would, ultimately dictate whether he's successful or not with the Patriots. To me, that's the stat you have to highlight. You have to measure production somehow. Obviously, you just want him to be a good player, but if you zoom in on what production that he needs to do to be successful, he's got to do what he's always done throughout his career. That's score touchdowns, because the Patriots could use an extra 10 touchdowns on their offense. Ezekiel Elliott is certainly capable of it. I think people forget that he is great down by the goal line, a guy that, can still break free a little bit and, get in the end zone. Maybe not breaking off those long runs like he used to, but he still had a lot of touchdowns last year, so he's still getting it done in some capacity. Now, obviously, it's more in the red zone these days, but still, he can still break a 20-yard run and get in. Maybe not those 60 and 70-yard runs anymore, but still, he can go for 20 yards and score a touchdown. That's all Ezekiel Elliott needs to do. Keep breaking off those 20-yard runs for touchdowns. Get in that zone at least, 10 times. Patriots fans will be happy with Ezekiel Elliott. And then, if he does those things, you never know. Maybe Bill Belichick ultimately decides to bring him back on another deal the following year. And, Ezekiel Elliott can ultimately find more work at a respectable rate, because right now he's fighting for his salary. Can he keep putting up productive years where that salary doesn't fall off too much? I think he's making $6 million this year with the Patriots. If he has a fall off, he might only make $3 or $4 million next year. So he could lose half of his value if he's not productive. So Ezekiel has to do a good job of finding that zone. That's going to be what determines whether or not he's successful with the Patriots. And that could ultimately be a big help for the Patriots because, like I said, they're desperate for offense up there in New England. The other story we have is the Dalvin Cook story. So we were right about Dalvin Cook. I did a past episode and talked about how Dalvin Cook is probably going to ultimately choose the Jets over the Dolphins, and that's what ended up happening. I think Dalvin Cook got I think it was around $8 million with the Jets. So he picks the Jets over the Dolphins. This is a nice little fit for Dalvin Cook. He's going to come into camp, finish the rest of the camp with the Jets, get there, he's, arriving just now with the Jets, and, they have Breece Hall, but Breece Hall is just coming back to practice. He's still shaking off the rust. Dalvin Cook, shaking off the rust with that shoulder injury. But, you look at that backfield, Dalvin Cook, Breece Hall, it's looking good for the Jets. And you got Aaron Rodgers there too. Remember, Aaron Rodgers took that big pay cut, made some room for Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook ultimately does decide to join the Jets. We all knew eventually that he was going to go to the Jets. It just took a little bit longer than we thought to materialize. But he chooses the Jets over his hometown Dolphins. And what that tells me is the Dolphins didn't make a good enough offer. The Jets were willing to pay a little bit more. And the Jets are really going for it. They're all in. They're trying to win a Super Bowl. They know their window is now with Aaron Rodgers. They don't know how long they're going to have Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has said he wants to play for at least a couple more years. But after that, you never know. So they decided to go all in, get Dalvin Cook now, and really go after it. I love this offense. They're loaded on offense. You got Aaron Rodgers, you got Garrett Wilson, you got Alan Lazard, Randall Cobb, Mecole Hardman, all the weapons out wide to open things up, which is going to open up running lanes for Dalvin Cook. I mean, there's going to be space there because the field is spread out so much with all those wide receivers, with Aaron Rodgers, CJ Uzomah's there. They have weapons that can catch the football. And that means if you have to guard the perimeter and you have to guard or cover downfield, I guess you can say, what happens is when that offense gets spread out, opens running lanes, and Dalvin Cook's going to take advantage of those running lanes. I mean, he's an explosive player, a great running back in this league who's been very successful. I'm excited for what he's going to bring to the Jets because now the Jets are even closer to winning a Super Bowl, and they were close already after getting Aaron Rodgers, Alan Lazard, and Randall Cobb, and Mecole Hardman. That gave that team a boost. Mecole Hardman obviously is the deep threat. They have every box checked. Everything you're looking for, they have. They have the quarterback. They have the wide receivers. They have two good running backs. Maybe need to be a little bit better on the offensive line, but they have every other box checked, and their defense is stacked. they're looking good. I mean, their defense is really stacked. They're going to play lights out on the defense side of the ball. They only have one weakness at the offensive line position, but they're so good at all the other positions that they should be able to overcome a weak offensive line. And Dalvin Cook, I mean, he's going to break off a bunch of big runs. He's going to make them more explosive. Even if, Aaron Rodgers has to dump the ball off to Dalvin Cook, I mean, he's going to be able to catch the football and make some plays just because he's so lightning quick and so good in space. What a big addition. Great job by Joe Douglas getting Dalvin Cook. They knew that their window was really this year, because if they don't have a good year that first year, usually momentum's lost in the second year, and then that would be it with Aaron Rodgers. If all momentum's lost, he would probably hang it up. So I think this was smart to get Dalvin Cook, because you have that big year and make everybody excited for the future. Then they're still excited in year two. Then guess what? Aaron Rodgers decides, hey, I'm having fun. I'm just going to keep playing. I'm going to play as long as I can. And that's why you sign Dalvin Cook, because it does add a little bit more excitement, more momentum, and it gives this team a better chance of winning. They're going to win more games with Dalvin Cook. We all know that's the case. And Dalvin Cook, he can get off to the races. He can. I mean, when he's on, he said he's feeling like the Florida State Dalvin Cook too, who just ran all over teams. He said his shoulder's feeling better. Breece Hall's there too. We know how good he looked as a rookie. I mean, that's a really tough 1-2 punch at the running back position. They don't even have to throw the ball. They can spread you out with all those weapons and then just keep chipping away at the runs, and then what happens? The defense starts selling out to stop the run. You start play action off of that. With all those weapons, you can start throwing the ball all over the place. I mean, it's just, it gives them unlimited options when it comes to the offensive side of the ball. There's so many different phases of the game they're going to be good at. Aaron Rodgers is going to be throwing the ball all over the place. If not, he can just hand it off to his two outstanding running backs that are going to break off big gains consistently. It's going to be tough to stop the Jets. And, with Dalvin Cook signing there, he doesn't go to the Dolphins. He doesn't go to the Patriots. And now the Jets are gaining even more ground on the Bills in this division. It's just the reality of the situation. The Jets could have taken control of this division with Dalvin Cook. I mean, that's how good Dalvin Cook is. That's how close this race is in the AFC East. It's coming down to the wire talent-wise. Talent-wise, it's coming down to the wire, and every little addition can pay, big dividends for a team. And Dalvin Cook could provide some great returns for the Jets. I think this was a very smart move by the Jets. I think they get a big-time playmaker. I think they make everybody on that team more excited, because when the front office does their job and puts the team in a position to succeed, guess what happens? The players respond, and they're more excited, and they're ready to go play their hearts out, because they know that the team is in a position to succeed. They know, they can tell when things are going good or when things are going bad. Everybody, even the fan base, is energized because they can feel the excitement that this team has, especially now after Dalvin Cook signed with the Jets. I'm really excited. And, with Ezekiel Elliott going to the Patriots, the Jets answer back with Dalvin Cook. I mean, it's great work by the Jets. They basically trumped the Patriots' big day. Patriots get Ezekiel Elliott. They're excited. They're having fun over there. They get another weapon that they think they can help them. Well, later on in the night, Dalvin Cook signs with the Jets. The Jets steal the Patriots' thunder again, and that's a division rival. So great work by the Jets. Everything that they needed to do, they've done this offseason, and that's why they're the most improved team in football this offseason. Watch out for the Jets. They're ready to take flight. I'm John Kuzma. That's all I got in this latest episode of the Cross the Middle Show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Sign up for just $1 per month by clicking the link in the episode description box. I'm John Kuzma. I'm signing off. Have a great day.